Morning Pisces, welcome to your reading for July. So we're doing a monthly reading this time. I've already set up the cards, and the reason for that is it just speeds up the process a little bit. So your theme for the month is the lovers. So it could be a romantic month for you. There's certainly attraction, there are choices to be made. As with any relationship, work or personal, it's ups and downs, you know. I mean, this is a great reading, by the way. This is just a really good reading. There's only one card in there that's not great, and I think that's somebody else. So I think it's a warning to you, Pisces. So let's start. I mean, roughly, it kind of goes that way. So this is the beginning of the month, and this is the end of the month, and it kind of goes that way as well. I read more intuitively than that. They'll get impacted by the White Light Oracle, the White Light Oracle and the Spirit Animal, which I'll do right at the end. So I'll do you a traditional read and then we'll pop those two on. I only got those decks yesterday, so I'm really raw and new to those, but I've always wanted to use them, so they're in. And again, Pisces, we've already done 2 readings and you're the first to use this. So yeah, you're lucky as well. Lucky, different, chosen. There you go. So we're going to start off with the King of Wands at the top there. Inspiring, courageous, leading by example, kind of knowing what's right and just getting on with it and doing it. Really powerful energy, great energy, very Piscean. So I'm loving all of that straight away. So that's great. That's a great start to the month. The only card that's a disappointment is this one. That's a card of selfishness and meanness and being underhand, law breaking. So this card talks about, is this you? Are you the central sword there that's sucking the life energy out of the other 4? Are you one of the 4 and someone else is sucking the life energy out of you? And honestly, Pisces, the ones that come to this channel, I think that it's the latter. I think somebody's doing the dirty to you. Just going to have a quick drink of coffee. First of the day, can't beat it, can you? So just be careful. Someone's doing something underhand, maybe illegal. Don't be complicit, yeah? Don't condone that behaviour. It's up to you whether you actually hold your hand up and go, oh, something's going wrong over here, or whether you just sort of ride it out yourself. That's the decision for you to make. But some trial involved. I don't mean a literal, going to court trial, but there's that. Do I do the right thing? Do I keep quiet? Is it as bad as I think it is? So there's just something at the very beginning of the month that's not very nice, and then it just goes away. Pardon me. You have the 4 of Swords, a card of respite and solace and healing. Water lilies are all about peace. It's just that, taking a breath, just sitting back. So it seems to me like you're doing the right thing. Something pops out of the woodwork that's not very pleasant. And then after that, you just take a beat, you just take a breath. That's the first part of the month. The middle of the month, or the majority of the month, is this run in the middle here, which is just sensational. You've got my 3 favourite cards in this deck, and 2 of my, well, probably 3 of my favourite cards in any deck. You've also got the best card in the deck, considered by everybody. So you've got the Sun at the top there. Of course you have. It's up at the top. You've got the Hanged Man, you've got the Magician. This is about joyful, celebratory, uplifting. The Sun just lifts all cards. It just lifts the whole reading. If you get the Sun in a reading, it's like game over. You're in for a great month, Pisces. Love that. Absolutely love it. So that's really, really good to see. So the Sun card, everywhere she steps, everywhere she dances, her feet touch the floor and sunflowers bloom and sunflowers follow the sun as they walk past. So you've got that energy, you've got that head-turning energy at the middle of the month. The Hanged Man talks about, willingly giving yourself up for the greater good, for seeing the bigger picture, losing the battle to win the war. Ties in very nicely with this as well. Something's going on, but you're going to see the situation. Maybe someone's doing something. Maybe somebody is stealing from a store because they haven't got any money. So it goes from being a bad thing to being what a terrible state we live in the modern world, where people have got no money for food. And it changes the context a little bit. So make sure you see the bigger picture, you see what's going on, you see it from their point of view as well, because that leads to this communication along here. Because all of these things are interconnected. So rest, see the bigger picture, victory, lead by example, see the bigger picture, there's a burden coming to an end. So everything kind of feeds into everything else. It's one big picture rather than Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So as I said at the beginning, although it kind of goes that way and it kind of goes that way, it can also go all sorts of ways. People read the corners, they read the cross in the middle. This is so strong down the middle, you can't ignore it. Really powerful energy, and then that's grounded by the Magician. I mean, you're kind of bookending a fantastic card with two of my personal favourites. I mean, the Magician, as far as I'm concerned, is numero uno in any deck. Just amazing energy. You've got all the tools at your disposal. You know, if you said, oh, I want to set up a business, or I want to be a better teacher, or, you know, I'm thinking of becoming a nanny, or, you know, a guy's seen some stuff I've been carving in my shed and he says I should set up a side hustle. Yes, 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 yes to all of those. You know, whatever the question is, when you get the Magician, the answer is yes, in capital letters with 3 exclamation marks. It's like, yes, you should. So great month, great middle of the month there. And that leads to this Chariot, which is a triumphant victory of your own control. You know, you did this, you created this. There's some news coming in which could be based on this line here. So you've got some trials, there's some attraction, but there's also some sort of journey that you need to go on with someone else, and it may be that this is what this is down here. You've then seen the bigger picture, and then you get news about that. This is communication. It's fast. There's a lot of it. There's definitely something towards the end of the month. You've got victory, lots of communication, and then you've got 10 of Pentacles, which is a card of burden. This is the Goliath beetle that can hold 10 times its own weight. There's somebody taking a free ride on here as well, and that could relate to this. That's very much that energy of you going, why am I doing all the work? Why is it always me? You know, why am I the one that stays late? It gets resolved. Don't worry. This central bit is you are so strong and in the zone that it results in the victory and the communication. It could be that somebody goes, we've seen what you've been doing. We've seen you've been working late nights. But it's the completion as well. Pardon me. In a more traditional read, the person carrying those sticks is carrying them in quite an ungainly manner. You know, you could make it a bit easier than you are doing, and it's like you don't need to make it so difficult for yourself. But you're almost at the end. The 10s are the completion of a cycle. So I always say, if you're reading a book, you're just finishing chapter 7 and you're about to go into chapter 8. It's not the end of the book. It's not the beginning of the book. It's just part of the journey. But it's not a big, heavy transformation card like the Death card, which is, it's the end of that book. Now go watch a film, or it's the end of the book. Now go on holiday. You know, the Death card is very much about stopping one thing and then going off and doing another thing entirely. I mean, it could be in a relationship where you go, that's the end of the relationship and the start of a new one. This would talk about, you know, we're in this level of our relationship where it's all really good and really physical, and now we're starting to go, hang on, do we actually love each other? Do we want to be together forever? This card, by the way, talks about this red string of fate, you know, and as above, so below. Although they're not looking at each other, they're kind of looking, she's looking at her point of view, he's looking at his point of view, but unbeknown to those two, they're actually connected through space and time. And there's a beautiful thing in the book which talks about a couple get married, and he marries. I'm just going to read it word for word because I think that's going to make it a lot easier. Hang on a minute, people. Bear with. Where is the lovers? There we go. Okay, so it says, the story follows a young child that throws a rock at another child, only many years later marrying somebody with a mysterious scar. So yeah, if you're supposed to be with someone, you will be with someone. You're supposed to go on this journey, and the journey is arduous, is difficult, it has ups and downs, it's got unpleasant stuff, and it's got really good stuff. It is a roller coaster, you know. But if you're supposed to be with this person, you will find each other. And, you know, I get the sense that you're coming to the end of this burden is over. So, you know, the triumph and the victory, the communication could be that this person's getting in touch, or that this could be one string. I'm seeing it as doing this. I don't know why, because this is so strong. But, you know, this is about a relationship, but with some kind of trials and tribulations in it. So someone's doing something you don't really agree with, but then you see why they do that. And then that results in this, you know, this sort of end bit here, which is triumph and victory, communication, and then the end of this burden. Really nice to see. So this is a great, great read. Loving this, Pisces. Right, I'm going to clarify with the Black Violet, and then we'll do those 2 cards on the new decks that I got today. So let's just... So a bit tight for space down here today. I don't know what's happened there. Okay, so we have Ace of Pentacles, great, new start, and it's a material new start. It's the start of your own making. Page of Swords, jump in with passion and enthusiasm. Just be careful that your passion and enthusiasm doesn't override the message, you know. So someone's doing something, you know, we were talking about maybe someone's doing something a little bit underhand down here. The Page of Swords kind of comes in and goes, oh, don't worry about that, let's go for it, come on, let's go, whereas the other party in H would go, hang on, let's just get to the bottom of this first. So just be careful. That's another warning that you're not too impetuous. You need to see what's really going on. Three of Cups down at the bottom here. So after your little rest, you've got a celebration, and that celebration is with other people as well. So it's a really joyful. It's not a solo celebration, if you see what I mean. It's not you home going, yes, I finished that level on that game. This is people coming around and going, oh, well done you. On top of the Sun card, we got the Moon card. That's really interesting. So the Sun is amazing, amazing, amazing. The Moon, I always think the Moon draws its energy from the Sun, doesn't it? If you think about moonlight, it's sunlight reflected off a marble in the sky. So you've got the sort of yin and yang on there. The Moon talks about listening to your subconscious. I think the Sun card, it doesn't really have a negative, even reversed. The Sun card is so powerful and joyous and buoyant. I think all that's saying to me on the Moon card is just listen to your intuition as well. The Sun can be a bit literal. It's like, oh, it's a sunny day, let's go. And the Moon card goes, do you not want to take a brolly just in case it's forecast to rain at 5 o'clock and we'll still be out? You know, so it's listen to your subconscious, that little niggle, because the Sun can kind of carry you along a bit like the Page of Swords energy. It's like, this is great, let's go for it. Nine of Pentacles on top, so you see the bigger picture, and that turns into a reward. That's abundance, that is focus and intent. So really concentrate on seeing this other person's point of view. That's what you've got to do. Knight of Swords on top of the Page of Swords, so this stands for an event as well. So there's clearly something happening towards the sort of middle end of the month. Butterflies are about idea generation, so you know, and they've appeared on here as well. So you're setting these ideas free. Again, like the Page, it's a slightly more mature attitude, but it's still that speedboat on a pond. It's still jumping in. Come on, let's go. This is amazing. Of all the Knights, it is the most agile, it's the most fast, it's really, you know, incoming, you know, it's right, we've got real movement behind it, like this card here. Queen of Wands on top of the Chariot, yeah, love to see that. Queen of Wands, really in touch with nature, really in touch with the self, kind of knows what's right, what's wrong, and very passionate and enthusiastic, and what's the word? She's also very grounded. Some of the sort of younger wand cards can be quite impetuous, you know. In this Eight of Wands here is like movement, you know. It's like, yeah, let's just get the message out there. She's been through all that. She's kind of slowed down a bit, so she is passionate and enthusiastic and nurturing, but it's just taken down a notch. It's an 8 out of 10, not a 10 out of 10. 10 of Swords on top of the 8. There's very definitely the end. We've got towards the end of the month, we've now got 2 10 cards. The cycle is complete. Whatever's happened, it's done and dusted. You know, nothing's going to change. The sun's coming up. The sun is coming up. So, you know, yes, something is done and dusted, and that's all there is to it. But, you know, tarot is a cycle. It goes back around. And then the Three of Swords down here. Just be careful when you do go through this process here, and you've really got to see the other person's point of view. You've got to see the bigger picture. You've got to imagine what life is like for them, because someone's going to get the heart broken here. Yeah, and it could be you, it could be them, but it's not a major thing. It's more of a wounding, and this card talks about, you know, look at the storm clouds. They go away. Yeah, the storm clouds go away. They never last forever. And is it you or is it them? And you've got to learn how to deal with heartbreak and healing. So that's all that talks about. Right, that's your reading done. So I think you're in for an excellent month, really excellent month. King of Pentacles at the bottom to go. A lot of sort of high court energy on this. To me, that strikes me as it's a month where you know what's going on. There's no surprises here. You know who this person is, or you know what this situation is. I'm not telling you something where you go, I have no idea what you're talking about, Steve. you know all of this. Yeah, certainly on that initial read before we put these clarifiers on top. So let's go to the White Oracle. Scorpio Dissolvi, and we have the Fox Spirit, Think on Your Feet. The Fox Spirit, that's easy. That you know, that sort of cleverness. So yeah, this month you just need to stay sharp, stay clever, stay wary, and think on your feet. You'll be absolutely fine. There's no worry here. This other one, I only got the book yesterday, so you're gonna have to bear with me. I did actually read a few of these, but I can't remember this one. Okay, so this card here, the White Light Oracle, is saying it's time to let go. Things are working out in their own way. Pardon me. Trust that your heart is wise and is leading you on a soul healing journey in the right spiritual path. Spirit wants to bring you a blessing and a resolution, but you must let go and allow it to happen. Events are unfolding according to a higher plan. Even if your plans are going awry, know that all will come together at the right time and in the best way possible. Surrender the struggle and hold on to your faith. Pisces, it's always a pleasure to read for you. Please do like, share, subscribe. I'll see you on Wednesday for a general read. But in the meantime, have a fantastic July. I will see you soon. Take care.